Right, got a bag full of new Mizuno irons today. It's very cold here in the UK. We've got new branding stroke old branding, kind of gone old school with the MP, Mizuno Pro. It's freezing. These are blades, elite cavities, and then a little bit of hot metal as well going on in these Mizuno Pros. Let's show you what the 221, the 223 and the 225 from Mizuno might offer your game. So the 221 is the blade. I've got a 4-iron we're going to start with here, and it is basically a butter knife blade with no offset. Looks Mizuno fantastic. Then we jump up to the 223, which is like a muscle body blade, if you like, a cavity backed idea but blade looks. And then we jump all the way up to the HMB chrome alloy Mizuno Pro 225, which is kind of similar to what I play in my Strixons. Looks like a hollow backed kind of hot metal, they call it, blade when you look down, blade looking at the back, but there's lots going on in there. Should we see how much is going on in here? It is nippy, and these are, yeah, well, the hot metal one feels all right, but the 221 4-iron, let's get on it. And there's a nice progression as we look up through. Definitely the slightly thicker in the top end, medium to then very thin in the MP or Mizuno Pro 221. I'm not such a fan of the names. I do love the new branding. I just know I'm not going to remember any of these numbers. Right, so this is the hot metal to kick us off, 225. More in what I would use, and definitely more what I would use up in the top end of clubs like 5-irons and 4-irons if I was hitting 4-irons. Feels nice. Feels good. It'd be interesting to feel how that sounds compared to the others. It's a lovely fly on that. It's really windy today and nippy. This is a fun, good old UK test. That looks great, you know, in the I want help but I want it to look pretty cool category. That's going to be hard to beat. I mean, that is up there with my Strixons, to be fair. That is really nice. 223 next, again in the 4-iron. So we are much more classic blade now. This does, like the difference between this and the top end one, which I'm struggling to remember the number. Is it 221? Let's have a look. Is it 221? Yeah, I do apologise. They're not going to go in, these numbers. Maybe post in the comments down below, what do you think of the naming? Like MP20 and stuff is just a little bit more memorable, I always think. This looks great, no offset, clean top lines, chrome to off chrome face. Again, that feels good. Maybe a little less in the sound compared to the hot metal. Maybe a fraction less. Like click, for want of a better word, not that there was click in those, but you know, a little bit more of that kind of Mizuno forged sound. The 221, yeah, look at that. Make me do or feel like I'm doing all the work 4-iron. Like if you want a sexy looking, I'm a player 4-iron, it's right there. I don't. I'll have a hybrid, please. So I caught that not bad, little clean out of all the three. I'm amazed how well it's done out of the three. That one definitely had a little of the sting in it. Yeah, not much difference in the sound of those. We'll hit more and see. Definitely a different in the looks. I like the stepping of the real blade to this is the non-cavitied hot metal to this one, so it kind of goes there, and then here. Yeah, looks, feels, as you would expect, pretty damn lovely. I mean, that was, even though it's cold and freezing here today, and it's very muddy as well, we've had so much rain in the UK, coming out and testing new sets of Mizuno Pro irons, Mizuno Pro, it's pretty good fun. And in the comments down below, I want you to tell me, what do you think of the Mizuno Proing logo? Look at that, I really like it. Like, I think it's really quite cool. Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know with a thumbs up. If you like that new logo from Mizuno, hit that thumbs up button so I can see how many of you are liking it. It reflects, look, this is the hot metal, the furthest on, then the elite cavity here with the blade furthest back, which was the worst hit, but they're kind of falling in place to how I struck them more than the designs of them, you could argue, but possibly as well a little bit stronger lofted in that hot metal one, because they use the term hot metal. If the metal's that hot, why do we have to strengthen the loft? Oh, because they go too high, otherwise, round and round we go. So let's go the other way round now. 8 iron, and the blade is beautiful, lovely little short head design, like proper lovely little kind of head, squatty, beautiful design. This is like, they do make clubs that do tick the looking boxes and feel and performance as well, but the looks just really tick the boxes. So when we start getting into the 8 iron lofts, you know, I'm not feeling pretty much like I'm going to notice much between all of them, I hope. Well, let's see. And call that slightly clean, that's tends to what I do. That's on the green and a decent shot. Feels lovely. Like, really reminds me, I used to play Mizuno blades as a kid, and that just literally reminds me of being a kid out on the course hitting shots. That's like lovely. And then the 223, it's kind of classic little cavity back blade, beautiful again. Maybe a slightly bigger head size down by the ball. Big's not the word, just bigger, because that other one's tiny. Oh yeah, that feels really good. Pretty much exactly the same shot, as in slightly better struck, but very much a similar flight. That feels absolutely lovely. Struggle to feel much difference between those two as well. They feel very similar. 225 to finish. Yeah, maybe again a fraction bigger in head shape going up from the, you know, it's a gradual step as you would expect. This certainly isn't big. Like, I love these kind of clubs. I gain these kind of clubs. This kind of, I think, pretends it's a blade, but it actually offers lots of help kind of club. It's really one of my favourite categories at the minute. Cool, it's hard to tell between the three. It really is. I would say this one is definitely the more, like, you can feel that hollow body sound when you hit it. And obviously you've got that gradual stepping up in size and looks, but it's really seamless. There's not much in that. Like, could you blend these? Absolutely. I feel like you could if you wanted the best of all the worlds, from short irons to long irons. Again, you just have to watch what lofts you go for, as always in the blending world. Let's go up and see where these are finished. As I do that, why don't we take a look at the tech, see what Mizuno is saying about these clubs. So the 221 is an inspired, iconic blade from Mizuno's past. Mizuno is saying the irons have been delivered for appearance and shorter face profile and narrower top lines, which you can definitely see in them. They are also more dramatically more compact in the scoring irons than the predecessors. They also feature Mizuno's shortest CG shaft axis, which is consistent from free iron to pitch and wedge, allow for control and shot shaping throughout the set, is what they say. They're grain flow forged in Hiroshima. We wouldn't expect anything less from Mizuno. And Mizuno say themselves, you know, they're working in tiny increments when it comes to changing, say, from MP20. They just feel this is a slight adaptation. The 223s, delivering everything tour player needs to compete or extend more demanding layouts, is what they are saying. It's got a ball speed enhancing construction within the frame of the compact player's cavity. A completely new technology platform from 4 to 7 iron, they're saying. Chromology, forging, and flow micro slots. An innovation producing extra ball speeds from small, tour-ready profile. Very thin face thickness, from 8 to pitch and wedge. They are constructed from 1025E pure select mild cobalt steel for ultimate precision and control, grain flow forged in Hiroshima as well. The 225, a hot metal blade design, features grain flow forged, 4135 chromology in the face and neck, and a 2 to 8 irons consistently 0.02 millimeters thinner across the face. Good luck finding that. They say the 225s are equally effective as a long mid-iron alternative for elite players, or a complete set of low for mid-handicappers. Also grain flow forged in Hiroshima. The original hot metal blades were an extension of our hybrid iron technology into a full-bladed looking set. So it's that kind of real combo between enhancing but still keeping that player's technology in there. So I'll take these 3 shots, slightly on the front edge with the blade, a little bit forward. There's a pattern forming a little bit further on again with the hot metal, which you would expect. We will look at the numbers when we go inside, which will be just after this next. I'm going to do, let's look at the wedge here a little bit because the wedges look nice, and also got a fun game for you at the end as well. So when it comes to the wedges, not much in the soles, a little bit thinner in obviously the top end blade, and from the top line again, not much in the 3. They really start totally blending down at this end. Like I can see, this is the 21, the blade, but when it comes to these two, I'm struggling to tell. I think this is the, well, see, I thought that was the cavity, but it's not. It's the 225. Yeah, it's really close when it gets down to the bottom end. So if you're someone who games players wedges, if you like, as in you're kind of lofted, I can't see these not blending with your set. Because I kind of feel like with the wedges here, I don't mind which one I pick up. I literally don't mind which one I pick up. They all feel like they're gonna do very much the same. And I would on a pitch shot as well. Obviously this is just a little chip. Possibly the 225 is a fraction presenting bigger. Oh, it's nothing. What they are is beautiful looking wedges with very lovely shaping. Sometimes the wedge can get lost in its look, but the leading edge of this club, all 3 of them, is blending nicely with the set and the bottom end in where you might go with your wedges, and I like that. I like the fact that the wedge will cross over. But when you get down to this end, you're not, like when in the 4 iron, I definitely want kind of this one, 225, or I want a bit of the cavity. I don't want the old MP20, which is the 221. But when you get down to the wedge, it literally wouldn't matter. As you would imagine, that's what you'd want. But also in the shaping, sometimes the wedges, when you start getting a little bit of help on them, can get lost, but certainly not with these. So let's go and look at the numbers. Let's see what we're getting out of these and do our little indoor game just to finish. I'm going to hit the 4 iron again because I just don't get the chance to, and it's fun. Definitely feel as great as you'd expect from Mizuno Golf. Oh yeah, it does feel good. That just feels so nice. Be interesting how far up these go. That was struck well. Let's see if we can get some equivalents here. 223 next, that was the 225. Right there, there's nothing in those two, surely. Oh, there is a little bit actually. Well, I'll show you that. One more shot with this until they release another bladed or someone else does. Love to know in the comments as well, any of you using a 4 iron, and certainly in a blade, let me know. And if you're not, what club are you using? Can't believe any of you are nowadays using a bladed 4 iron. It's almost like this club is for show, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Put it on the shop floor to get people talking about it, but they're never going to game it. Can I get this anywhere near those two? Let's go more up the left, but I've struck that good. This is the other side, but let's see how far up they are, and then we'll go and look at these numbers. They do just feel blooming lovely. So this is the cavity. This is the hollow back hot metal. I think it might have flicked this tree, but there's not much in this. And the blade, you can't see it, but it's level with this bush. And this will be interesting if we see this in the numbers. You're always going to find that clubs cross over. So yeah, they might average longer, but because of standard deviations, you're going to get a crossover as well, which is why you can make decisions on which ones you might like the feel of or not. It's actually slightly further ahead, the blade. So the blade there was the longest, but it was arguably the best struck. Let's look at the numbers here from the Mizunos then. The 221s, 123 ball speed, and then we see a little jump speed of 1 mile an hour with crossing over the standard deviations of 225 and 223. 183 carried. These are the 6 irons I'm hitting, 189 and 187. So yes, you do see that jump in the 225 and the 223. They're very, very close, very similar. You see a little bit more spin out of the blade, then into the medium, and then into the hot metal design. You got the least amount of spin, which is why again we see it just pushing on in distance. But you can see from the circles here, like we saw outside, there's crossovers. Really, really close. Definitely see a slight jump in the 225, 223, but I mean the 221 for a pretty much true blade is doing so well to keep up with the other two, I think. And again, I think these crossovers is what will allow you to blend these clubs if that's something you are interested in doing. So all three, we are 187 yards out, we're 12 foot 10 inches going uphill, so it'll play like 189-ish. Tuck-dish pin, can't go short, can't go left. So we see how they compare in the game. 2-2-1 to start then, so this in theory is going to be pushing this one the most. Let's see. Little bit skinny, little bit cutty. It wouldn't have made it look, but it's going to do very well because that's the best miss ever. Yes, please. Says 179 carry. We're 26 foot away. 2-2-3 next. So these are 6 irons, obviously still. There's a meaty strike, better shape. Oh, that's a quality shot. Sit. There we go. It was just a better shot. 193 carry, 20 foot away, so there's only 6 foot in those two, and the difference between those two shots are huge, which I think is so interesting when we look at the numbers, how close and overlappy they are. Well, the worst shot, which was way worse, is only 6 foot further away than that one, and it's a right to left rather than a left to right putt, which in my mind I would prefer, even though I might not see a difference in data of those two, I would prefer the look of that putt. 2-2-5. For me, out of the 3, I play this style of club. I think this is the best combination. Like, I love, and like I said outside, I'm really starting to love this combination of club. In the bag, they look like a blade. When you put them down by the ball, they've got blade essence. They're just not as clean in the lines, but I mean, the lines are clean, just not as sharp maybe. But you are getting whatever help we want out of it through, I would say, more than anything else, the stronger lofts. So when I say help, I mean as in help to carry this ditch and have a club on the bottom that gives my ego a little massage. That's a pretty average hit. That's got to just go, yeah, I mean, look at that. The average hit is getting on the green easily there, isn't it? And that's just because it is that slightly stronger loft. So arguably in the blade, you know, I could go up to a 5 iron, couldn't I, and get the same thing. That one is 13 foot, and it was the second best shot of all of them. And, well, I would say arguably it's equally as bad as the first one. It was just a better result. Okay, we'll start up here this time, so we'll start in my favourite one. So I definitely don't need to give this everything. Oh, that's scabby. On that line, is it going to carry? Yes. And that's a good scab. Right, that's a really good scab. And then in the 2-2-3, again, it feels like I don't need to absolutely kill it. Hit that one the best both times. That's the bigger carry. It's over. Again, I mean, I've hit the 2 best shots with the 2-2-3 on this situation. That won't be close because obviously the slope's just taking it away. And the blade, but remember, I'd probably be hitting a 5 to give me the security that they're giving me. So I can take off rather than this one I feel like I have to put on, if you like. So put power in rather than take off like I can with the others. So that's too far left, but a good hit. Isn't going to carry that line. Oh, that was not far off. So that is 10 yards left. I just want to give that another go. It was pure line that ruined that one because the strike was lovely, the flight was nice. That wasn't as good a strike. Stay in the air, look, dropping short. Ouch. But if we use 7 irons in the 2 stronger clubs and tried to push them, that would equally go in the water. Is it because it's a blade, or is it because we're comparing 6s, which is not, they're not all 6s, are they? Which you could see from what we were getting out of the kind of delivered numbers. 3 very, very good clubs. Feel Mizuno, great. I'm loving the retro logo. Like, loving that. I'd love to hear what you think down below. Because I game them, 225, I think is the winner for me. It's just a great combination of help, technology, whatever you want to call it, and Mizuno looks and feel. I'll be interested in how this one does. I don't see the point in this one because the other one just feels better to me, but people might just like the look of that a bit better. And then the 221, obviously, if you are a true blade golfer, which I don't think there's many people out there anymore, like that's going to win a lot of best blades of the year competitions because it's a Mizuno and it's a blade. Put your comments down below, what one would you use and why? Let me know. As always, are you a Mizuno fan or not? Have you tested their clubs? Are these ones on your list? Super, super impressed.